this thing's taking forever. What's going on here? Good morning, everybody. I hope that you enjoyed your weekend, and I hope you managed to indulge in some exercise snacking over the weekend. I know I did. I'm very excited because I did some bike riding, because I'm the proud owner of a new bike. Anyway, let's get started. So I need to do some quad stretching, all that bike riding. So let's get started. So you're standing spine roll. So remember, it's your flexibility test. If your back is really sore, you can skip this one out. So just always remember your basics and make sure that you are getting those breaths to the base of the lungs. Nice, deep, relaxed breaths. So even though Pilates is not an aerobic exercise, it does help to expand your lung capacity if you do get that breathing right. So make sure that you are getting the breath to the base of the lungs. All right, standing spine roll, deep breath in, grow taller. Breathing out, chin to chest, peel your spine off that imaginary wall. Notice how far down you're reaching. V-line breathing out from halfway up, tuck with the pelvis and squeeze the core to the upright. And again, breathe in, grow taller. Breathing out, chin to chest and roll it down. Notice how far you're reaching. V-line breathing out, use the abdominals. You want to support the spine with them. Uncurl to the upright. And last one, breathe in, grow taller. Breathing out, chin to chest and roll it down. Notice how far you're reaching. V-line, use the abdominals and uncurl to the upright. Now, this first one is going to be a little bit of a balance exercise, and you will feel those thighs working. But if you do have sore knees, you'll just do watch the first variations. So just work within your limits. Always with these exercises, work within your limits. I'll show you from the front, but I will also show you from the side, because once again, that position of the pelvis is important. Yes, Daniel, I can see you after your mess in the kitchen. Okay, so you're going to take the legs wide. Make sure that your knees are going over the big toe. So you're going to take yourself down low. Now, ideally, you're going to touch the floor. So kneecaps in line, first take second toes. As you come up, then you're going to rise up onto your toes, which means you need to squeeze in from those inner thighs. Now, if you've got sore knees, you may just want to do a small little one, then squeeze in from the inner thighs and rise up onto those toes. It helps if you squeeze the buttocks. I'll just show you from the side. So we want to have a flat back. So we're leaning forwards, but it's a flat back. So what you don't want is that pelvis tilted forwards. So get that pelvis in the right position. You should be putting the tummy muscles in. Squeeze the buttocks, rise up onto your toes. All right. So just within your limits. So doing it with me. So sink down low, squeeze the buttocks, squeeze in from the inner thighs, rise and hold right up onto the toes. So take it down. Tuck the tailbone under, squeeze the buttocks, squeeze in from those inner thighs, rising right up, shoulder blades are in pocket. So sink yourself down, squeeze the buttocks, rising up, hold it there, no wobbling around, hold it. Take yourself down just as deep as those knees will allow you, and squeeze the buttocks, rising up. Hold it there. Feel the inner thighs working, the buttocks working, and those small muscles of the feet. Take it down, squeeze the buttocks, rise up onto your toes. Take it down, squeeze your core, squeeze the buttocks. As you take it down, being aware of that position of the pelvis, and squeeze the buttocks, squeeze in from those inner thighs. Take it down, squeeze the buttocks, squeeze the core, and take it down, rising up, squeezing in from those inner thighs, take it down, rising up, hold it there. We've got one more with the grand finale. Take it down, rising up, hold it there, raise your arms up, and close your eyes. Keep holding, 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 and release it down. Just give those legs a little bit of a shake. And now a little bit of balancing. Imagine you're holding something between your ankle bones, so you're not going to sickle out with those ankle bones. You can always hold onto your chair, all right? So always have a chair handy. So rising slowly up. Hold it there, squeezing the buttocks, squeezing the core. And down. We'll do a few faster ones and then slower ones. Rising up, squeezing from those inner thighs, squeeze your core, and down. Rising up, holding, holding, holding. Tummy in, tailbone down, and down. Rising up, hold, 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 and down. Now up for 5, hold for 5, down for 5. Slowly up, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hold it there. Squeeze the core, squeeze in from the inner thighs. Tuck the tailbone under, slowly down. 1, 2, 3, 4. Not down yet, Catherine. And 5. Slowly up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hold it there. Tuck the tailbone under. Squeeze the core, squeezing from those inner thighs. Slowly down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Last one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hold, 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 hold. Slowly down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Good. So this one's a good one for your balance. Also getting all those small muscles of the feet working as you do it slower. So a good one to do while you're waiting for that kettle to boil or whatever. So remember, introduce those snacks throughout your day. The class isn't just for what you should be doing for 1 hour. Try to incorporate things through your day. So even like our shoulder blades in pocket, when you're hanging out washing, your shoulders should be down. It's not this sort of thing. If you're reaching for something high in the cupboard, it's not that. Keep those shoulders down, reach for it. So make sure that you do use all your principles throughout the day as well to keep your body safe. All right, I'll bring that camera in a little closer so you can watch me on the floor here. We'll start with some start stretches. So just to show you sideways, this is a neural stretch as well. I've got that angle quite right. Just give me a moment. Where's my assistant when I need him? Okay, good. So your lower back should be upright and you're slumping forwards from the rib cage. Press those bench knees down towards the floor. Keep your elbows nice and close to your knees. Make sure that you are beelining and curling over an imaginary beach ball. Nice steep breaths. Keep pressing those bench knees down towards the floor. Squeeze your core, that corset around your center. Hands are on your shoulders, not pulling on your neck. Squeeze the core, deep breath in, reach it up, and relax it down. So once again, still with the lower back upright, you're not leaning forwards like that. I'll just show you from the front. Now your inner thighs are squeezed together, hands are between the shoulder blades. Now you can have soft knees if you feel like you're slumping backwards and leaning. So curling over, not leaning forwards. Squeeze the inner thighs together, press the legs down, flex the feet, draw the little toes back towards you and curling over. Nice steep breaths. Make sure that you are beelining and slumping forwards from the rib cage, not pulling from your neck or shoulders. Round in your spine as much as you can. Squeeze the core, deep breath in to anchor, reach it up and relax it down. We'll do a big lunge, so hip flexor stretch. So big lunge forwards with the left foot and pressing that right hip towards the floor. You can lift that back knee up off the floor. Make sure that you sink that right hip low. So make sure you're not up here. If you're up there, you're better off having your knee on the floor. So your shoulder blade should be in pocket and your neck in line with the rest of the spine. And remember to squeeze your core throughout. And then changing sides. So a big lunge forwards. If we lifted the toe up on the heel, the knee up on the other side, doing the same thing on this side. So leaning a little to that left-hand side and tucking under with the tailbone. So feel that stretch at the front of that hip. Now we're going to be kneeling. If you have got sore knees and this one's not for you, then don't do it. So the purpose is to stretch through the thighs. So tucking under with the tailbone and sitting upright. Or you can keep some pressure on your hands if you need to, or otherwise leaning back within your limits of discomfort. So pressing those knees to the floor and tucking under with the tailbone. So stretching through those thighs. Now when you come up symmetrically. This donor I'm watching. Hand on the center, squeeze the core and push straight up. We align our backs for hamstring stretch, and I'm just going to alter that a little. All right. So hamstring stretch using your band or not using your band, as you like. So remember, if you don't have a band, just be hold either behind your thigh or behind your calf. If you do have a sore neck, remember to keep that towel handy, put the towel in underneath your head. So pressing up with the heel, down with the hip, bend the elbows, pull your knee towards your shoulder. So it's fine to have a soft knee, but you're not wanting a big bend in that knee. All right? So you keep that knee as straight as possible, but keep that knee soft, not locked. Pressing up with the heel, down with the hip, knee to shoulder, make sure it is coming through into the hamstring, and as you pull that forefoot down into your calf. Breathe through your stretch and remember to compare left and right side. And then changing sides. Make sure that your foot is nice and flat as if you're trying to balance a book on top of your foot. So pressing up with the heel, down with the hip, bend the elbows, knee to shoulder, and pull that forefoot down. Make sure that you are getting it through into that hamstring. Press the tailbone onto the floor. So press that opposite leg to the floor. You can always have that knee bent if you need to. And easing out of that, and your buttock stretch. So left foot on the right knee, hold behind your right thigh, or a firmer stretch in front of that right knee. Hug the thigh towards the chest, and you can try dropping that right knee to the right-hand side, looking for that angle at which you get a firmer stretch into that left buttock. Breathe through your stretch, and try and relax your tailbone back towards the floor. And changing sides, holding behind that thigh or in front of the knee if you want that firmer stretch, putting the thigh towards the chest, and try dropping that left knee to the left-hand side, just looking for that firmer stretch. Breathe through your stretch, always consciously relax the stretch muscles. Relax the tailbone back towards the floor. And easing out of that. All right, we'll be over onto our sides for a thigh stretch. So you can do it on your stomach if you want to, and you can use a band if you want to. So hips are vertically stacked, bottom leg way forwards, heel to the buttock. Now make sure that you are tucking with the pelvis, lock your pelvis into position, and pull that knee back and behind your torso. So you should get to a 9 out of 10 of discomfort into that thigh. So those tight thigh muscles pull your pelvis forward, so implicated in a sore lower back. So just make sure you are stretching those thighs out effectively. Try and get that extra centimetre back further. And over onto the other side. I'll just show you on the stomach for this one. And if you did the same on the other, lying on your side, do the same on the side. But just for that full range of movement, you want the heel touching the buttock, squeeze the buttocks, hips are pressed down flat. So you're not wanting this sort of thing. Pulling back and behind, keep your hips vertically stacked, tucking with that pelvis. Keep yourself honest, drawing that knee back that extra centimetre. And easing out of that. All right, we will do a calf stretch. Now, if you do have a sore shoulder, feel free to do it against the wall. I will just show you that. So you can be like that. Make sure that your foot is nice and straight, or even your toes turn slightly in. Okay. Otherwise, we'll do downward dog. So fingers are spread wide when you put your hand on the floor. Wrist in underneath the shoulder, knees underneath the hips. Tuck your toes and push back. Now slowly alternate with the legs to press one heel down towards the floor at a time. Keep the weight more on the little toe side of your foot and make sure that you are squeezing your core. Pressing the tailbone towards the back wall. Elbows are soft. Now push down with both. Trying to get your heels flat on the floor, keeping the weight on the little toe side of the foot. Push away with your hands. Get your knees as straight as possible. And easing out of that. All right. We'll start off with perfect abdominal curl. So just wakening up those abdominals, learning to squeeze ribs to hips. So knees together, feet flexed and apart. Aware of your natural curves, you're not tucking. Tailbone is resting down. Fingers are either interlinked, or you can place hands on opposite shoulders if your neck is sore or you need more of a challenge. So squeeze ribs to hips. Now really concentrate on your breathing. The breathing does help to make the exercise more effective. So you're breathing out to curl up, breathing in a small release back. So on that breath out, flatten through your rib cage and pull those abdominals in. Squeeze ribs to hips, work from your center. Be careful to keep those elbows wide, otherwise hands on opposite shoulders. One more. Relax the back. Just check you still have your natural curve. You haven't gone into a tuck. And just a small range of movements. You lift your shoulder blades off the floor, then a small release back. Squeeze your knees firmly together. Flex the feet to your right up on the heels, but keep your buttocks relaxed. Just moving through that very small range of movement. As you curl up, also engaging through the pelvic floor. Make sure that you're beelining, abdominals stay pulled in and flattened. You've got one more, and relax it back. We'll do it with rotations. Be careful to keep your legs still, just rotate from your rib cage. Fingers are interlinked behind your head, not your neck. Contract forwards, look across towards the far wall, look to your knees to the center, across to the other side. Nice deep breaths. Think of three things as you rotate. Squeeze the knees, squeeze the core, as well as engaging through the pelvic floor. Keep those knees locked together, don't let the legs wobble about. Squeezing the core, breathing nice deep breaths as you rotate. One more to each side. And relax out of that. Now the next one that we'll do is bicycling. Now if you do have a sore neck, remember to pop that towel or small cushion underneath the head and you'll keep your head resting down. Now be aware of what's happening with the lower back. We'll now have a pelvic tilt. So make sure that you lift up, lengthen out, and maintain that pelvic tilt. Lower back stays pressed onto the floor at all times. If you want to challenge, you can hold on to handbreaks, but you can also interlink and hold on to your head. So smooth bicycle movement, flex the feet, legs are straight, not turned out, bend leg in close, just down to a 45 degree if you've got a sore lower back, or lower to the floor as long as your lower back is still staying imprinted to the floor. Tuck your chin in and look towards the leg you are lowering. the strong side out as you lower that leg towards the floor. Make sure that the bent knee is coming close to the chest. Extend that leg up vertically, push through the heel. Now squeeze ribs to hips as you did with perfect abdominal curl. V-line, keep those abdominals pulled in and flattened. Reverse, push through the heel. So you can do a more upright bicycle if your back is sore. Otherwise, a larger range of movement for more of a challenge. Nice smooth movement with the knees. Keep squeezing ribs to hips. And if your head is lifted, look towards the leg that is low to the floor. And hug the knees to the chest. Well done. All right. Now with that hover, we are gradually going to start working up to 2 minutes again. So today we're going to do a 1.5 minute hover. But it's important that you feel the tummy and not your lower back. So you try to challenge yourself, but you only work as hard as you can when you're feeling it in those correct muscles. You can always go back to the knees at any time. So you're trying to challenge yourself, but not injure yourself. So you do need to be mindful of how that lower back is. I will tell you after a minute, but try to keep holding for that 1:30 today. All right. Okay, so elbows are in underneath your shoulders. Check that your hips are shoulder height. So look for yourself and see where those hips are. Make sure that you start in this position. Then tuck the toes, lift it and hold it. All right. Make sure that you are maintaining that pelvic tilt throughout. So if you do have a sore back, feel free to go to those knees. Same thing with a sore shoulder. Tucking under with the tailbone. So it's really important that you keep that pelvis in the correct position. Be careful not to be up there and not sagging in through the back. Keep those hips at shoulder height. Tucking under with the tailbone. Now concentrate on your breathing. Breathe in for a count of 4. Slow breath out for a count of 6. Breathe all the air out, squeezing the core, as well as engaging through the pelvic floor. Now that is 1 minute. Now keep going for the extra 30 seconds. Keep tucking under with the tailbone. So just remember the benefits of the hover. That'll help you to get through that last 30 seconds. Can you feel your belly fat melting? Nice and good for all those postural muscles. Release it gently. Now short little break. And just think, you've only got 30 seconds left. So we'll gradually work up to 2 minutes. So for good abdominal strength, you should be able to hold that hover for 2 minutes. All right, well that was a long rest. So now just 30 seconds onto the knees, tuck the toes, lift it and hold it. Squeeze your core, that corset around your center, and also engage through the pelvic floor on your breath out. So concentrate on those deep, slow breaths. Shoulders are pressed away from your ears. No hunching. Neck in line with the rest of the spine. Release it gently and back into rest position. So feet together, knees wide, and sink your chest down low. Think of flattening your spine. And easing out of that. Well done. Hopefully you got through your 1.5 minutes. All right. We're going to do a double side leg lift. I will give you an easier and a more challenging one. In fact, you'll have 3 different options here. So now, lie right on the outer edge of your mat. So this is to work through those oblique abdominals. And the legs come forwards from your mat. Okay, now your very easiest exercise is you can just flop that top leg forwards and you can just lift from that bottom leg. You'll feel the inner thigh working. You won't be working your oblique abdominals, but it's a much easier one. That's your first one. Otherwise, lift both legs. Being really careful to keep vertically stacked, not flopping over backwards. So vertically stacked as you lift those legs. It's a small lift. Don't think you're lifting really high, but all you're doing is rolling over backwards. So you'll feel it working around the waist. Now your more challenging one, you'll be lifting top leg, bottom leg, last, and try to get an equal lift of the torso and the legs. So that's your more challenging one. All right, so remember, there, and I'll talk you through the more challenging. So if you're doing the easier one, your hand is on the far edge, and it's a blast point out, and you keep those legs going. Try to not do that sort of thing. Lift up from the inner thigh at the bottom. So doing it with me. So you can do the easier one in your own time. You're aiming for 20 on each side, so do your own counting. So top leg, bottom leg, blast, reach. Squeeze ribs to hips, keep those legs forwards from your torso. Take it down, squeeze your core, tucking with the pelvis. Top leg, bottom leg, blast, and reach. And take it down. Top, bottom, blast, reach. Squeeze ribs to hips, tuck with your pelvis, onto your hand, not your elbow. And take it down. Top, bottom, blast, and reach. Squeeze ribs to hips, keep that tuck with the pelvis, keep vertically stacked. And take it down. Top, bottom, blast, and reach. And down. Top, bottom leg, blast, reach, squeeze rib to hip, and down. Top leg, bottom leg, blast, squeeze rib to hip, onto your hand, and down. Top leg, bottom leg, blast, squeeze ribs to hips, and down. Top leg, bottom leg, blast, reach. Now hold it there, try and lift those legs a little higher, torso a little higher, tuck with the pelvis, and release, sit down. Have you felt it working around the waist? And we'll do the same on the other side. Be really careful to maintain that tuck with the pelvis. Don't go into that sway. You should not be feeling your lower back. It does help with your positioning. If you do position yourself on the outer edge of your mat, and you keep those legs forwards from your torso. So, top leg, bottom leg, blast, reach, and down. Top leg, bottom leg, blast, squeeze rib to hip. Keep those legs forwards from your torso, and down. Top leg, bottom leg, blast, squeeze rib to hip, and down. Top leg, bottom leg, blast, squeeze ribs to hip. Squeeze your core onto the hand, and down. Top leg, bottom leg, blast. Keep those legs forwards. Keep the tuck with the pelvis, and down. Top leg, bottom leg, blast. Squeeze ribs to hips onto the hand, and down. Top leg, bottom leg, blast. Squeeze ribs to hips. Squeeze those inner thighs, and down. Top leg, bottom leg, blast. Squeezing ribs to hips. Squeeze your core, and down. Top leg, bottom leg, blast. You're nearly there, and down. Top leg, bottom leg, blast. Hold it there. Squeeze those inner thighs. Lift those legs a little higher. Torso a little higher. Squeeze your core. And relax. Well done. All right. We will lie on our sides and just do side to side. This is a good one for a sore lower back. Keep your feet resting on the floor if your back is sore. If you want more of a challenge, we'll lift the legs, and your third option is doing the pendulum where your legs are straight. So watch for those three options. The first two, you'll just keep the feet resting on the floor though. So arms are out, hands are around with your shoulder blades are pressed to the floor. Push through with your hips. Try to get the knees down, keeping your shoulders down. Turn to look to the fingers of the opposite hand. Use those abdominals to lift your legs. Pushing through with the hips within your limits of discomfort of that lower back. Squeeze core into the thighs. Keeping your shoulders nice and flat. If your back is sore, you will just nudge into that, so you may only take it down that much. So work on that range of movement first. Now side to side, knees are in line with the belly button, feet a little higher than the knees, halfway to make it easier, or as low to the floor as you can, with that opposite shoulder still remains flat. And if you would like to do the pendulum, toes together, heels apart, flex those feet more in, and you can have your arms close into the sides for more of a challenge. Take those legs as low down as you can, keeping them in line with your hips. Squeeze core into inner thighs to lift. I'll be crashing into the wall first before I go any lower. Squeezing core into inner thighs. Keep those shoulders down and pull those abdominals in. So just choosing the variation that is suitable for you. So keep your feet resting on the floor if your back is sore. Breathing out to lower. Squeeze core into inner thighs to lift. That's a worry. As I take those feet towards you, you will notice those dirty feet. That's because walking barefoot is good for you. Breathing out to lower. Squeeze core into inner thighs to lift. Keep those shoulders nice and flat. Use those abdominals to rock the legs back up again. Keep your shoulders down. Squeezing core into inner thighs to raise. One more to each side. Keeping your shoulders flat. Last one. Back up to the center, relax the feet to the floor. Now you'll stretch. So sore backs, make sure you keep your knees vertically stacked while you take the legs to the right hand side. Otherwise, right leg out straight for your firmest stretch. Left leg up and over. Try and get that knee close into your armpit. Keep that left shoulder blade pressed into the floor as much as you can. And try and relax that knee to the floor, all within your limits of discomfort into that lower back. So don't force it, just relax through it and breathe. Often we are a little tighter on one side. So just make sure that you're working within your limits. Beeline so that your back does stay supported. Carefully as you come out of this, squeeze the core, slowly rocking back and across to the other side. So left leg out straight, right leg up and over. Foot on the floor, then gently easing your knee down. Make sure that you beeline throughout. Keep your back supported. Squeeze the core, use the abdominals carefully and slowly up. And just giving those knees a little squeeze in to your chest. Okay. We're going to be doing rollbacks. Now, if you do have a sore back, this may not be suitable for you. Otherwise, you can just do a few, and when you start to feel it in your back, then stop. So you can go back to heel taps or perfect abdominal curl at any time. So perfect abdominal curl is the one we did in the beginning. Okay. Otherwise, your heel taps, you lengthen out, knees in line with the belly button. So not in line with your hips, they're drawn in a little closer. Keep those calves parallel to the floor, and you take the heel down as low as you can. Your lower back is still imprinted. So you don't even need to touch the floor if your back is sore. Keep that one leg pulled in towards your chest. Make sure you fit in the tummy and not your lower back. Okay. And for more of a challenge, I'll roll that. So you can use your band also, and you can use hand weights to make it a little easier. What we're really after is that pelvic tilt, that tucking of the pelvis. So glue your knees together. Keep that same angle at the knees, no straightening out of those legs, just halfway down, tucking with the pelvis. Squeeze your knees, squeeze ribs to hips to come up. So your first few just halfway down, look at those abdominals, tuck under with the tailbone, squeeze the knees, squeezing ribs to hips. Now we've got our challenge, we're aiming for 20. All, once again, all within your limits. So looking down, curve into your back, take it down as low as you can. You can still bring yourself back up again. Make sure that you're not straining through the neck. So how we protect the neck is by tucking the chin in and looking down towards those abdominals. So make sure that you're not looking up at the ceiling. Look down towards those abdominals. Tucking, tucking, tucking. And the last breath out will help you out. Keep your shoulders relaxed. And make sure that you work from your center. Really careful to keep that same angle at the knees. So all the movement happens with that tucking of the pelvis. Last breath out to help you out. Squeezing ribs to hips. Last breath out, keep those knees glued together. Squeeze ribs to hips on the way up. No, Eileen, don't give up just yet. If I could sing, I'd say, come on, Eileen. Squeezing ribs to hips. We're on the home run. 18. Keep those knees glued together. Last one. Roll down, stay down. And now comes your lovely stretch out. So you aim to get the whole body as flat onto the floor as possible. So tuck your chin in. Press the back of the arms to the floor, straighten those elbows. Press your shoulder blades to the floor, pelvic tilt to press that lower back down, and pressing the back of the legs to the floor. Reach through the toes and through the fingertips. Notice where you are tight and backing to touch the floor. And just give those knees a hug into the chest. Squeeze them in. All right, while we are lying on the floor, we'll do our bridging. So this is for best friend for a sore lower back. So I will give you those different options with your bridging. So you can just do your basic, or for that nice arm stretch, you can take the arms up and overhead. And if you do want to challenge, you can raise and lower. You can lift one leg up. So palms are facing up, shoulders are pressed into the floor, no pillow behind the head, ankle and underneath the knee. So pelvic tilt, hold it there a moment. Make sure that your lower back is pressed really flat. Then squeeze the buttocks and peel your spine off the floor. So you can either just hold it here or you squeeze the buttocks tight, maintain that tuck with the pelvis. Otherwise, you can take the arms up and overhead. Press the back of the arms into the floor and then roll your spine down one vertebra at a time. And the very last thing you'll do is release the pelvic tilt just to the neutral. Make sure you're not pushing forwards into a large arch, and you'll bring your arms back to your sides. So pelvic tilt, using tummy and pelvic floor, not the buttocks. Once you lift up, then you use the buttocks, squeeze the buttocks, peel the spinal. Keep moving through the vertebra. Maintain that pelvic tilt. If you do want to challenge, keep your knees level, keep those buttocks lifted high, straighten one leg, and straighten the other leg, and then tuck with the pelvis, roll it down. Now you can combine the arms overhead and lifting, which makes it even more challenging. So pelvic tilt, using tummy and pelvic floor, make sure that you hold that a moment, squeeze the buttocks and peel the spine off. If your back is sore and you just want to nudge into that pain and don't move arms or legs, you can do so. So you can have the arms up and overhead, and then you can lift one leg up at a time as well. Try and keep that pelvis square up to the ceiling, and tuck with the pelvis, roll your spine down, and keep those arms pressed into the floor, and bring the arms back down. Make sure the feet aren't far away, keep them so that the ankle should be in underneath the knee. So tucking with the pelvis, hold it, peel your spine off the floor, squeeze the buttocks tight, push those shoulder blades into the floor. You can have the arms up and overhead, you can alternate with those legs, Whatever you are doing, make sure that you are squeezing the buttocks tight, keeping those hips lifted. Now when you roll down, tuck with the pelvis. You aim to get as much movement through the vertebrae as possible. Last thing you do is release through that pelvic tilt, arms to your sides. Tuck with the pelvis, hold it a moment, squeeze the buttocks and peel your spine off. Now push those hips up high. We are going to pulse it. Lower the buttocks by 5 centimeters and the last breath out to push those hips back up again. Yes, you can have those arms overhead. So last breath out. Now I want you to really concentrate on the buttock muscles now, squeezing the buttocks to push your hips up to the ceiling. Last breath out. Make sure that you're maintaining that pelvic tilt and squeezing from your inner thighs, but your knees stay over your ankles. Last breath out and pulse those hips to the ceiling. Make sure that you are keeping your chin tucked in. Really feel those buttocks. Now roll your spine down, arms down, and rock your knees to the chest. We'll sit up. And we'll just do one stretch. So we'll take the legs out wide and with a straight back, hinging forwards. Now you can, if you are tight, sit on top of your tongue. You're aiming to tip forwards from the pelvis with a straight back. Breathe through the stretch, don't force it, just try and relax into it. Keep those feet up vertically. Now walk your hands around to the left-hand side, cross your hands over, hold the leg where you comfortably can, reach your foot, hold your foot. Gently pulling chest to thigh and keep your knees locked out straight. Relax your shoulders away from your ears. Breathe through the stretch. Now walk it across to the right-hand side. Cross your hands over. Gently pulling chest to thigh. Squeeze the core and slowly uncurl to the upright. Okay, we're going to do some back strengthening. This mat keeps on edging closer to the wall. Must be a ghost in here. All right. So we've got different options here. So first of all, we're going to have the arms straight up overhead, and then we're going to try different arm positions. If the shoulders are not liking this, you can just stick arms overhead, or you can keep the arms there, or you can just move the legs if you want to. If your back is sore, you may want to have that rolled up top in underneath your stomach. That's helping you maintain a pelvic tilt. All right. Otherwise, you're squeezing your core to try and maintain that pelvic tilt. So palms are facing inwards. So first of all, one arm, one leg on opposite sides. Try not rock from side to side. Squeeze your core. Breathing out to lift, breathing in to lower. Keeping your elbows as straight as possible. Now, if you would like to work a little harder than that, lift arms and legs equally up off the floor. Otherwise, stick to your one-on-one leg. Try and get that equal lift of arms and legs. Knees are nice and straight. Keep your elbows as straight as possible. Just going to do a few, because you've got those different arm positions. You've got one more, and release it down. Now, popping the arms in as if you're making a wide position. Okay, once again, it's not suitable for the shoulders, just continue with what you were doing. And so now you try and get that equal lift of arms and legs. And your arms are in that wide position, reaching up towards the ceiling. Squeeze your core. Breathe in to lift, breathing out to lower. Lifting those arms a little higher than your torso, and keep your elbows as straight as possible. So thumbs are facing up. One more. Release it down. And now your arms, your hands are in line with your shoulders. And your palms will be facing down and your feet will stay on the floor. So lifting up and then down. Now if you do find it too much with the straight arms, you can bend your arms and do the diamond press. So it's there. So those straight arms, feet are on the floor for this one. Lifting your arms up higher than your torso. Elbows are straight and a gentle pinch between your shoulder blades. Breathing in to lift and out to lower. One more and release it down. And now your arms are in like a W position. So your hands are in line with your shoulders and your elbows are tucked in. So now pinch between your shoulder blades and a small lift. Don't pull from your neck. Try and keep your hand in line with your elbow. So you're not doing that. Lift your hand up, pinch your shoulder blades. So really squeezing into that upper back. So it's just a small lift. Squeeze those shoulder blades together. So keep that forearm parallel to the floor. Last one. Release it gently. Okay. And we will do some fast swimming. Kim, this one's for you. And I know everybody loves the fast swimming. Okay, so you can do fast swimming with just your legs or arms and legs. Remember to do your percussion breathing. Don't look forwards, looking down towards the floor. Don't strain through the neck. And don't wobble about. Keep your torso locked still. So nice fast swimming. Squeeze the core, pinch the buttocks. That percussion breathing. Keep your torso locked still. Have a short rest. And another set when you are ready. Your percussion breathing. Now straighten your elbows, straighten your knees. Keep your torso locked still. Release it gently. And come back into rest position. So you should feel those back muscles have worked. And just needing a stretch out. Buttocks on the heels, flatten your spine. Sink your chest low. And we'll do a cat stretch. This one's good for flexibility of the lower back. Spread your fingers wide. Whenever you're putting your hands on the floor, fingers nice and wide. And lift those palms down flat. Wrist in underneath the shoulder, knees are in underneath the hips. Elbows are soft. Tuck the chin and look towards the belly button. Push forwards with your hips. Push away with your hands. Sink down into the lower back, crown of the head to the ceiling, tailbone to the ceiling. Tuck the chin in, draw tummy and pelvic floor in. Arch your back up as much as possible and sink down into your lower back, shoulders away from your ears, soft elbows. Breathing out, squeezing the core as you rise up, and a deep breath in to sink into your lower back. A strong breath out as you arch up, and a deep breath in as you sink into that lower back. So last breath out, and breathing in, sink into your lower back, and one more, arch your back up as much as possible, push forwards with your hips, push away with your hands, and sink into that lower back, just giving those wrists a little shake. And now's a good time to stretch out through those forearms. So the hand stays down, don't let it twist. Hold on the hand, not on the fingers, and rotate that crease of the elbow up towards the ceiling, stretching through that forearm. Good one for tennis elbow, which can also come from too much typing, too much on the computer. So other side, keep that shoulder down, no hunching with the shoulder, lock your elbows straight, make sure your hand is down vertically, don't really start to twist in that direction. Give those wrists a little shake, and now golfer's elbow. You can put the hands back down and just leaning back, otherwise you can hold on the fingers and pull back, shoulder away from the ear. So leaning back within your limits and just stretch through those forearms. Breathe through the stretch, no hunching with the shoulders, and give those wrists a little shake. And today we're going to do some arms with your band. Okay, just adjust that. So if you don't have a band, feel free to get one from me. Otherwise, you can just do the same exercises holding some hand weights or without holding anything. All right. So first of all, now if you do have a sore shoulder, you may want to just do shoulder blade pinches. Okay. So if at any time, if any of the exercises are not suitable for you, go back to those shoulder pinches. Otherwise, band is behind your neck. Yes, I think I've got my friends resting on each shoulder. There, Louise, what do you think? My last in the center. Pinch your shoulder blades, stretch your band. Now check that you are level and not having a little tilt. Pinch your shoulder blades. Lengthen up through the crown of the head. I want you to be concentrating on your upper back. So squeeze those shoulder blades to open up through your chest. Breathe out to open, breathe in. As you bring it back in, keep tension in your band. You should also feel your triceps, the back of the arms working. Breathe out to stretch, breathe in to release. As you straighten, make sure you're not hyperextending in those elbows. You keep soft elbows as you straighten. One more. Bring the band up and overhead and to shoulder level. Now once again, concentrating on upper back. Now be aware of your position of the pelvis, tummy and tailbone down. Your hips should be above the ankles. Make sure that you're not having a sway. So upper back. Breathe out to stretch, breathe in to release. Concentrate on that upper back, straighten your elbows, and don't let the band touch the chest as you bring it in. Control the movement. Soft knees. Don't lock out on those knees. Breathe out to stretch, breathe in to release. And release. Now, band vertically in front of you. If you do have a sore shoulder, lock the bottom hand down and just reach that top arm to shoulder level, playing around with how much resistance you need. Otherwise, your band is vertically in front of you and you're going to stretch in both directions. Keep that band in front of the nose. Breathe out to stretch, breathe in to release. Tummy and tailbone down and stretch your band. So remember, sore shoulders, just take it up to that 90 degrees, so you just lock in there. Breathe out to stretch, in to release. One more. And change sides. So make sure you've got about the same amount of resistance. Stretch and keep tension in the band as you bring it back down. Breathing out to stretch, breathe in to release. Squeeze your core. As you stretch that band, also engage through the pelvic floor. One more. And release. Tuck your elbows in, working rotator cuff now. Elbows are glued into your torso and rotate out equally from the forearms. So if you do have a sore shoulder, you may end up doing a smaller range of movement, but make sure that you're not just working through one side. Look at yourself and make sure that you are rotating out equally with both sides. Keep those elbows glued into your torso. Tummy in, tailbone down. Soft knees. And now pulse it. Stretch your band. Now smooth pulses. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Hold it there. Stretch your band an extra centimetre. One more. And slowly release. Relax your shoulders. All right. And remember, as part of your snacking, to stretch out through those shoulders. So we'll just do a pec stretch. Make sure that your elbow is a little bit behind your torso. And turn your feet towards the center of the room, leaning forwards until that ball comes through into the front of your chest. Keeping a tuck under with the tailbone, looking forwards, and feel that pull coming through into the pec muscle, front of the chest. Turn the feet towards the wall, changing sides. So make sure your elbow is slightly behind your torso, feet towards the center of the room, leaning slightly forwards. So have that stretch coming through into the pec muscle. Turn the feet towards the wall, easing that arm off, and standing spine roll. Have you loosened up a little? Breathe in, grow taller. Breathing out, chin to chest, roll it down. Notice how far you're reaching. Breathe and use those abdominals and curl to the upright. Just loosening through the neck. Make sure that you always have shoulder blades in pocket when you do these neck stretches, and get your pelvis in the right position, tummy and tailbone down. Now your head should be straight as you turn. You're not wanting that. You can always check by looking at yourself in the mirror. Check that head is straight as you look over your shoulder and over the other side. Back to the center. Look right up at the ceiling. Get the chin right up. Look the head right back. And chin to chest. And ear to shoulder. Keeping your shoulders level. Just try dropping that over. A gentle pull, and as you push down through that heel of the hand, you get a stretch through a neural stretch as well through the nose. And to the other side, always be gentle with the neck. And clasp the hands, try and lift those arms up as high as you can. So pinch your shoulder blades, open your chest, and release. And for a bit of fun, alternate. So I'll see you again on Wednesday at 9 a.m. and watch out for that surprise snack. Have a great week. Well done.